everything sound solid?
No.
Nice.
It sounds like shit.
Yeah.
The show... Here's the thing. This is a bad show.
Mm-hmm.
We have zero, content that matters.
Yeah.
We sound awful.
Right.
This is all bad.
And that's where we kick it off. What is up, everybody? My name is Trey Namo, and as always, the leader of the show, Steve. Hey, Steve. How you doing, buddy?
What is up, everybody? And welcome back to the Bat in the Hat podcast, where we dive deep into all things nerd. My name, of course, is Steve. This is Trey, who just did a phenomenal intro.
I did.
But
thanks, man.
if I feel, I sometimes feel
Mm-hmm.
if I don't do the intro, at least do my intro,
Right.
something will go wrong.
I mean,
I'm keeping your intro in
I dig it.
100%.
Fuck yeah.
But I need you to know I had to do mine for me.
Oh, you're all good. I just wanted to switch it up on you, buddy.
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm glad to be back. We had a phenomenal live stream last Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Phenomenal live stream at Cowabunga Comics.
Yeah. You had a couple big books, so.
It's a couple of my big books, my collection that I've sold for, well, obviously people sell books. Why? For financial reasons, but
Right.
Also because I needed to put money into the podcast and needed to put money into just other stuff. And the collection, unfortunately, had to be sacrificed. However, I did have a couple of big books sell. I still have a few that I'm very surprised didn't sell.
Yeah.
They were all priced to sell, but I was thinking maybe soon on the Bat in the Hat Instagram, as well as my at DC Key Collector Instagram.
Right.
I'm going to do a claim sale on there. So if anybody's watching this and you guys would want to be a part of that claim sale, maybe buy some key books, let me know. Comment below, and hopefully we can get that going and sell some books. And because again, I'm not trying to gouge anybody or get top dollar for this stuff. I'm just selling it to get a little change in my pocket.
Ton of Marvel keys, like all Marvel books, Independence.
It's
only DC.
It's only DC. 100% DC keys. That's just who I am. That is what I do. But we got a lot of shit to talk about, dude. We were gone for 2 weeks. Last week, your boy fell ill. And I just wasn't feeling it. So Trey was gracious enough to understand. And, but we decided we weren't going to throw out the notes from last week because some really cool shit happens that we want to talk about. So we're going to kind of mash the 2 weeks together. It's maybe a little bit of a long show, maybe like an hour and a half. We normally run right at the hour mark, but we may go a little over that today.
A little extra 30 won't hurt.
Yeah, a little,
dirty 30.
Little nerdy 30. But I'm excited to talk about some of this stuff, man. I've been geeking out over a lot of shit the last 2 weeks, and you want to go ahead and just jump into it and see what prospers.
Let it rock and roll, baby.
See what erects itself.
Yeah. Let's get Sandy.
And
speaking of Sandy, Dune 2. Confirmed.
Oh, is that where you go with that? Dune 2 was confirmed by Legendary. They kind of pulled It. You remember when the movie It came out? Now, I didn't finish watching Dune. Me and Lindy started watching it in bed.
Right.
I'm so sorry. I was utterly bored, and I could not focus on... I was also stoned, so high. We were laying in bed, and I was smoking on my dab pen.
Nice.
And I could not focus on it, but as soon as it opened, as soon as we hit play, I noticed that it said Dune Part 1. And I was like, oh, they were doing the thing It did, where it ended, and it said It Chapter 1. And people were like, what? And it's
did you ever watch Dune, the original?
The original,
read about
no.
Well, you know how, you have the big sandworms and everything like that?
Right.
They actually have, you probably saw it at the end, if you got to the end.
I got to the part where we saw the first big sandworm.
You didn't get to the very end?
No.
Where you meet Zendaya, finally?
No.
You meet Zendaya, and then, spoils and all that. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but they have people who actually ride the sandworms and shit.
No
That's pretty
shit,
badass.
really? That's pretty cool.
It's going to lead up to that, so this is basically just a whole ad for the second one.
It was just...
Not a bad ad, but...
So I heard that. A lot of people were saying that it was a big, long trailer for the next movie.
Not a bad trailer, if I give it.
I was about to say, as long as it's a good movie, because we were talking about Halloween Kills and how, for the most part, I thought it was a good movie. You agreed. I think we both were at like 7 something for
Terrible
it.
ending, yeah.
7.5.
My ending's better.
I like the ending. Your ending was better.
Thank you.
But it essentially was setting up the third movie.
Right.
You know, Amazing Spider-Man 2 would have been the same way if they had a third movie. So,
right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just couldn't get into it, man. But good for them that they're going to put out both parts. Phenomenal cast. I thought the cast was insane, and I loved every bit of that. It was just not my thing. But there was a canceled James Wan Aquaman spinoff. I know you guys remember that they were, after Aquaman came out, they announced a spinoff sequel.
Wasn't it called like The Trench
or
something?
The Trench.
Okay.
Right? So it was called
Had it right.
It was called The Trench.
Go me.
Or at least it was supposed to be about the trench. I'm pretty sure it was called The Trench. But it turns out The Trench was either a code name or it was going to be the actual. I think it was a code name. I don't think they were going to call it The Trench. But we just found out long after it had been canceled,
right,
that it was actually going to be a Black Manta spin-off movie.
Right.
And it was going to like really delve into him as a character, his backstory, his father.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad now because I think everybody, when they were like, oh, The Trench got canceled, people were like, who the fuck cares? Like, we didn't want to see a movie about The Trench. I personally didn't. I would have gone to see it.
Right.
You know, it probably would have still been awesome. But like, there was nothing drawing me where I was like, really, I need this movie to come out. And then we just found this out last week that it was supposed to be a Black Manta movie. And I'm sad.
Right.
Because that would have been amazing. I love Black Manta as a character.
They are like not introducing, but they're kind of like revamping and making him the big bad in this next like Aquaman movie that's going to come out.
Right.
But with that original one being so massive, and it was basically you pay for one movie and you get 7 movies all crammed into one, and somehow it works, which was awesome.
Right.
It's
you talking about the original Aquaman movie? Great. I thought it was a great movie. I can't believe the people who say they don't like that movie.
Yeah, great movie. I mean, you literally pay for one movie and you're getting like 5 movies all jammed into like one.
Right.
It's like how many stories? Like you could have got rid of
a lot of storylines and stuff happening. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But like it would have been kind of interesting. Granted, it would have like messed with like the ending, but if they would have never did the trench stuff in that, but kind of had like talks and like lore about it. And then the next movie comes out, and that's like where Black Manta goes after getting defeated,
right?
And like builds up his kind of like Army of the Dead type of deal,
right?
That'd been kind of badass, but
would have
been a little tricky.
It was somebody really popular and unexpected who played the voice of the big sea monster. It was like Julie Andrews or somebody really, you know, like an old British woman. And
I have no idea.
I just always I like that, and I love in the first one. You know, I never in a million years expected him to go to the trench and get the trident of Atlan, I think is who it was, and come out in the gold and green. Like, never in a million years. And not only that, but they made it look cool. That stupid color choice. And it looks so cool, which to me was just like the New 52 comics. Right. They put him back in the gold and green and made him look badass.
And they're doing that with Black Manta. Did you see like the set photos that they released of it? It's like soup to nuts, like dead on, like comic book accurate. Like,
oh yes, so I saw him in his Black Manta helmet, and it looked very traditional yet still really cool. Like in the first movie, you could tell he was Black Manta. He looked like Black Manta, but it looked like a high tech modern suit. This somehow reflects the old comic book suit, but still looks badass.
Right. It's gonna be interesting to see how they actually make it like worth it, since they kind of used him as like a nuisance, like brush away villain. I don't
think necessarily he was a brush away villain, but I agree. I was expecting a little more, but I kind of love that they made him a novice. Like he's not even essentially a villain yet. He's just pissed off, and he wanted a chance to hurt Aquaman. And now by this next movie, he's like full-fledged villain. Definitely has a little more experience under his belt. You know what I mean? So I really admire that aspect of it, and I can't wait to see what the next one looks like. Huge news that we got, like stuff that made me choke, because we all had hoped that Michael B. Jordan was going to play like Black Superman, like since 2018, when the notion of a Black Superman movie was going to come out.
Right.
Everybody was like Michael B. Jordan. Even I jumped on that train. Even I was like, yes, I would love Michael B. Jordan to be that Superman. The only problem I ever had with Michael B. Jordan is he's got these little puppy dog jowls in the corner of his lips that kind of look like you just want to pinch his lips. Other than that, you know what I mean? Like right here is puffy. Like I don't know.
I guess. I mean, he's
like
killed it in every role.
I feel like a grandma when I see him. I just want to pinch those cheeks. Anyways, I sometimes, like when I was watching Creed, I was like, it's hard to be intimidated by you when you have such puffy cheeks.
But what about when he was Killmonger?
When he was Killmonger, he was badass. So that's the thing. I would love for him to be Superman. And when they finally confirmed it was going to be a Val Zod, because you remember even when they confirmed there was a DC Black Superman movie in the works, we didn't know what Superman. Was it going to be Calvin Ellis?
Right.
From whatever Earth where he's President Superman? Or was it going to be Val Zod? Or there was, I think, one other Black Superman that didn't really count, but those are pretty much the two big ones. And we finally got that confirmation that it's going to be Val Zod, whose first appearance, by the way, was in Earth 2, number 19 from the New 52. Great book. One of the books I just sold this last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm so pumped, man. I mean, he's going to be starring in it, and then he's also going to be like producing it and working with HBO Max. And they landed the writers, Darnell, how do you say his name? Metier, whatever. And Josh Peters, who wrote Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Now, Rise of the Beast hasn't come out yet, right?
I think it did come out. I literally fell off of it once Shia LaBeouf got out of it.
I remember when the trailer came out, but I feel like I haven't seen that movie. So I'll have to definitely check that out. But I'm excited. I'm just pumped. What do you think? Yeah. Were you excited that this was the version of the Black Superman we were going to get?
I'm just hyped that they actually are going through with it. Rather it just being just another rumor or another like idea that throws up, you get hyped, kind of like The Trench or anything like that.
Idris
and it
Elba,
just goes
James
away.
Bond.
Right.
That was a big thing for me.
And especially with like all the backlash, like you have like the old head Superman fans are like, what? Superman doesn't wear glasses no more? I hate it. Or his son's gay. It's like they're already having those backlashes whenever this news broke a while back.
Well, what's great is, again, you have the people who are like Superman has always been white, and it's like, you don't read comics, obviously, because there have been other Black Supermen. Like, that's the thing. And Val Zod, I keep wanting to say Calvin Ellis, but Val Zod, who is the version we're going with, is a phenomenal character. And Earth 2 is such an insanely cool storyline. But you know what's really insane about this? Earth 2 is also the Earth that they said Robert Pattinson's Batman belongs to.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Now, that was already said months ago, was that, yes, if we're talking the scope of the multiverse, Ben Affleck's, Batman, he's on one Earth, Earth 1, Earth Prime, and Robert Pattinson is Earth 2.
So would you say Keaton's 3?
Well, no, I think that they already have their like designated like pretty much every Earth. Yeah. Like Young Justice. I'm pretty sure that's Earth 16.
Okay.
So like they all have their like designated stuff when they come out. But I just think it's interesting that they're saying that Robert Pattinson's is Earth 2, and that could, if they're going to connect the Earth 2 storyline, that could correspond to Robert Pattinson's Superman being Val Zod.
That'd be pretty hype.
Wouldn't that be insane?
That would be pretty cool.
That would be fucking nuts. Knucking futz.
Right?
Ugh.
As long as they don't do like another Batman versus Superman Earth 2 version, I'm okay with that.
I mean, again, I think that ever since HBO Max has like taken the reins, and WB clearly has been like, all right, we're just going to get good creators, good writers, good directors, and we're not going to interfere as much. Like, again, I'll say it now, and I've said it a billion times. The only problem that they've had was the fact that WB couldn't get out of the fucking way. They couldn't be like, hey, make a good film. They had to put, no, we want this. Make sure you have this. Make sure you're doing this. We want this. Our records or our studies show that teens respond 30% more to dabbing. Make sure there's dabbing in your film. Stupid shit like that. So I think it's really important to recognize that WB seems to be getting out of their own way right now.
Right.
Ever since HBO Max has taken over kind of like as the content platform. Main streaming service, they have been doing a good job. So I'm excited to see what happens. It also makes me think that the movies that were already in development or that were already planned, like the Green Lantern stuff, which apparently we're not going to see for like 5 more years probably.
Yeah, I forgot all about that, to be honest.
They said like apparently it's nowhere near.
Yeah.
Like, don't expect a Green Lantern anything.
Yeah, we talked about that prior to COVID hitting.
And I think they've kind of fucked with it with the Arrowverse stuff too, because John was finally supposed to be Green Lantern at the end of Arrow, and he was supposed to come back in like Supergirl or one of the shows as Green Lantern, and it never happened, and it still hasn't happened. But yeah, so hopefully that kind of stuff goes good with HBO Max.
Right.
Now,
to stay on like the Superman like trend at all, did you want to talk about this latest episode of Young Justice, or?
I'm telling you, you're already an episode behind.
No, I'm caught up. I've seen all of them.
You watched this week's?
Yeah.
About
how he got.
That was last week's. You're missing a whole
and
episode.
then this week was where
Artemis. This week
Artemis gets back, and then yeah, I've seen that one.
Okay, this whole episode was about Artemis, pretty much.
And you had what's her name? The lady with the one arm.
Oh, Vandal Savage's daughter.
I can't think of her name.
I can't remember either, but it's the daughter of Vandal Savage.
Yeah, I saw that one.
I was really happy that we got an episode back on Earth. If you guys aren't watching Young Justice on HBO Max right now, the 4th season, please go watch it. The creators have already been tweeting. The only reason we got Young Justice back after it was canceled for like 6 years was because people like me, especially, binge watched it over and over again on Netflix. I watched it like 5 times.
Same here.
Like the whole thing. And I love it and I'll never get tired of it. But they've already said it's still not picked up for a 5th season so far. Usually, if a show is in really high demand, it'll get picked up right after the premiere episode or just a few episodes in. And we're 4 episodes in, I think.
Yeah.
We haven't been picked up for a 5th season. The only way for that to happen is if you guys go on HBO Max. On HBO Max, it has to be on the actual streaming platform and not pirating, which again, I'm not going to judge nobody, but you got to try to watch it on HBO Max and then watch it over and over and over again. Save Young Justice. It is the perfect animated DC. Everything. Everything about it is amazing, and I love it.
Like, what was your like feelings and thoughts when you saw Connor die?
So,
like to spoil it, but
so Connor's dead, Superboy, and
because now first it was Wally. Wally's dead officially,
right?
And now it's Connor.
Those are the only 2 from the series. There have been other heroes who have died, other sidekicks who have died, but only ones from like the series mains from the series who have died. Disbelief, but as soon as it like switched angles and you saw the
he was just covered in the molten like kryptonite lava bullshit.
Well, when you saw the soot shadow against the rock.
Oh, that was a shadow? I thought he like sunk into it.
No. So what happens is like back in Nagasaki and Hiroshima during World War II when we bombed Japan, there were literally people in the blast field, and it blasted so hot it disintegrated them, and all that was left was a marking on the sidewalk that was the shape of a human.
Connor got Pompeyed?
No, seriously. It was,
and
that's real shit. Like, they were blasted so hard, it left what's called a blast shadow on the ground. And that's insane to think about.
I'm only laughing because he literally died by punching the ground to get to it. So he died in the most dumb Connor way.
And he was doing, now,
he was doing so much better. And
he was
like
doing the thing that he thought was right. But I will tell you that Connor's character evolution, and sorry guys if you guys haven't been watching Young Justice. I assume you have, though, because if you're watching this fucking show,
we're DC
you've probably seen Young Justice,
right?
But Connor's character progression has been so amazing through the 4 seasons, like where he started in season 1 to like who he is now. I am such a fangirl of this fucking show, and
you got to see baby Damien and everything like that.
We got to see baby. So we saw baby Damien last season, but he was just an infant.
Right.
Sorry.
That was the flashback that we saw in this previous episode, the Artemis one.
No, not technically. So the one we saw in this Artemis one, he was like a toddler, like he's walking and stuff, you know. And I don't think that was a flashback. Like when they were arguing, that was like Cheshire. Cheshire was actually there.
Yeah.
At the League of Shadows, but that dude behind her who with the sword, that was Jason Todd. So
really?
So in the last season, they go there, and you got to remember the Prince of Markovia. He was looking for his sister. So Brion thought that his sister was there with the League, and so they go there, and kind of invade. And Talia walks out and is like, the League isn't a part of the light anymore, and we don't have your sister, and blah, blah, blah. And she's holding baby Damien, like baby Damien. Yeah. And he walks out, the same dude with the red mask and the red hood, and he goes, and he sees Nightwing, and he goes, Grayson. And Ra's al Ghul said, oh, good, your memory's starting to return. So
he got brought back with the Lazarus pit.
Right. So that was Jason Todd. And there was also scenes, and I'm sorry, I love this show so fucking much.
Keep on geeking.
There was a scene where they're in the Batcave. Tim Drake is looking at the hollow memorial of Jason Todd. So we knew he was already dead. Right. And obviously Tim Drake was Robin too. So we knew that Jason Todd was dead. So yeah, that's Jason Todd. And in a lot of, ever since, especially the New 52, and I don't remember originally, I really don't, when Jason Todd was brought back, if they used the Talia trained him thing, but in more recent, like, canon, like New 52 and even considered now, he's brought back by the Lazarus pit, by Ra's al Ghul, and then Talia takes him and is like, I'm going to turn you into an even better fighter and assassin and killer. Yeah. And she makes him an even better fighter and everything than he already was for months. We're talking like maybe a year or two. Yeah. He's training with her. Maybe several years. I don't think it was a super long time, but when he comes back, he's definitely older, right? So a couple years at least, he's training with her. Right. And becomes the Red Hood. So it's really cool, again, that they integrated that. And they're trying to fit all the ages because, Damien is now a toddler, so maybe by the next season, whatever time jump, if we get a season 5, we'll get to see Damian Wayne as Robin. Maybe Nightwing will be Batman, and just like the original run from Grant Morrison, it'll be Dick Grayson Batman and Damian Wayne Robin. That'd be pretty fire. Yeah, I love this show. I think it's amazing. Everything they do, every single episode, they are just implanting little Easter eggs.
And they add every fucking character. Like, they brought my guy back. They got Static in there.
Right. And even when they're not, like, main characters or they're not, like, showcased for long, you get so many great character references and people who at least show up once. But, again, it's like everything they do is little Easter eggs to actual comic book history. Yeah. And only the nerdiest of the nerdy really catch them, Right. So it's phenomenal. The people who write that show really know what they're doing. And anybody who says they didn't like season 3, then go fuck yourself, because season 3 was fantastic.
Season 4 is a little mid until the Connor thing finally happened for me.
And again,
that's whenever it took off for me.
I disagree. I've enjoyed it completely.
No, I enjoyed it, but it's not.
And I don't mean like I'm a better fan than you.
No, you're solid.
I haven't had a problem with any of the episodes. I thought they've been great. So we probably got to move on though, because I could talk about this all day. Jesus Christ, where are we? Bill Murray was cast in a secret role in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Okay. Who do you think Bill Murray is going to play in this movie?
Bigger Ant-Man. I have no idea, to be honest.
I'm thinking he's going to be revealed as the actual Kang the Conqueror. And then people are going to get mad that we're whitewashing this important character. What's his name? Who's actually King the Conqueror? Jonathan Majors. Yeah. He is so perfect for this role. He's such a good actor. If you ever watch, if you guys haven't seen Lovecraft Country on HBO Max, holy shit, dude.
And such the new movie that just came out, The Harder They Fall, he's the lead in that.
I still haven't seen it. So
phenomenal.
That's a good segue to that, just because I don't know, I haven't seen it, but I really want to hear you tell me about it. So you said you saw The Harder They Fall. Right. It came out just this last Friday, right? Which would have been like the 5th. 6th, 7th, 8th, right? Yeah, so I think it came out on the 5th. And you gave it a 9 out of 10. Please tell me about this movie and how you liked it.
Well, it's definitely perfect timing to have like a Western hit, and it is refreshing, not just having like a John Wayne normal Western, like True Grit, which phenomenal movie. But I feel like I'm using that word wrong. Phenomenal. There's no B in it, right? You get it. Anyways, great movies like that, but with this one, it's just great. It's just great to like have it be like such a diverse cast, and you even have like RJ Seidler. He's from Jacksonville. Shout out the bro. He went to Inglewood. But
you're talking about dude from Power Rangers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played Billy.
Yeah.
He was in a couple other Netflix movies too.
Yeah, he's been in a few things.
But just the whole entire cast. You have the dude from Get Out, who's also in Uncut Gems. Can't remember his name at all. You also had Idris Elba as the
Lakeith
bad
Stanfield.
guy. Mm-hmm.
You're talking about.
You had Idris Elba as the bad guy. You had Zaza Beats.
So I've heard Zazie Beats and Zazzy Beats.
Zabits, whatever. That's a fighter.
Zabits? That sounds
Zabit
German.
Nurmagomedov. He's a fighter. Shout out UFC fans. Anyways, I am sidetracked so much. But it was really good. Like the whole entire story wise. Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but the setup is great. It just sets up a perfect like revenge story.
Right.
And then he sets up his ragtag team to go up against this like ragtag team of the guys who like killed his family. So you have that whole like, oh, Batman, we're DC fans aspect. And just the cowboy, like, gunslinging and, like, gore and everything going out through there. It's
so
just
I'm
so
really
awesome.
interested in it, not to be the woke liberal.
Okay.
But I am really interested in relatively all-black Western based on true events and real people.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen all of the posts where they've, like, shown the photos of the actors next to the people that they actually play.
Right.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm interested in it because of the truth and the history behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And the trailer looks so good. You know what I mean?
That and it's just so refreshing because right now we just have a lot of...
Right.
Well, we just got out of Halloween time, so you had a whole bunch of horror. And prior to that, you had a whole bunch of superheroes. Like, when was the last... I think, honestly, the last, like, true kind of, like, cowboy type movie that I saw that was pretty interesting was the Django.
Right.
To be honest, that was a hot minute ago. So... Definitely having that come out is just super refreshing, and the scoring of it, like the music wise, was really great.
Good. Really,
I was trying to use that word phenomenal because it's no B. Don't know why I keep saying that, but
phenomenal.
Just solid 9 out of 10, and then the twist at the end, big gunfight. You have people that you didn't think are gonna die, and people that you think are gonna die don't die, or they do die. I don't know. I'm not gonna spoil it, but the big twist at the end,
right?
Perfect. Just chef kiss because like.
And this isn't an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
No, it's like set up perfect.
So actually
and you're like,
done well.
It's set up perfect. And you're like, what? No way. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that's awesome. I definitely gotta watch it. If you
Solid
guys haven't
9 out of
seen
10.
it is on Netflix now. I already forgot the name of it. The Harder They Fall. So go check that out. I'm definitely gonna try to watch it this weekend. And you also told me to watch Tom Hanks' new movie Finch, which just dropped on Apple TV.
That movie, like,
and you gave it a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Fucking explain yourself.
Have you ever watched Ted Lasso?
I haven't watched all of it, but I have seen it. Yes.
What about Baymax, like Big Hero 6?
I still haven't seen Big Hero 6.
God, I hate you so much.
Hold on. So let me just say that it looked to me like Castaway, so but with a robot. Like Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Castaway is a great movie.
You wrote old man create your descriptions, by the way, are phenomenal.
Thank you, man.
Old man creates a robot to take care of his dog when he passes due to radiation from the apocalypse. What in the actual fuck? So builds
that's pretty basic. Yeah, he's a scientist after like I believe it's like Earth got hit by a solar flare. I mean, I'm kind of ruining the movie, but so like the ozone layer's kind of fucked, and I think he's like in I want to say like Wisconsin or something like that.
Yeah.
And like whenever it gets dark out, you can see the Aurora Borealis and everything.
Can you see the Aurora Borealis in Wisconsin?
It's somewhere where you can't and are never
Alaska,
supposed
you
to.
Can.
Yeah, because it's cold or I don't know, math or science.
Oh, I just thought it was because of the location of it.
I don't know, but like temperatures outside are like 150 degrees.
Yeah.
And if you don't have like your cool like spacesuit on and like you put your hand out there, you would literally like fry.
Really?
But he builds like basically like a Baymax type of robot who's like very like dumb and simple, and he has like kind of like a Russian accent, but it's like sweet. And he tries to teach him how to like care for the dog, and like because Tom Hanks' character is dying, but the like giant like 60-day storm that's coming. There you go. The 60-day storm that's coming forces them to leave early, so he's only like 70% downloaded.
Right.
So like while the storm's about to get there, he's like teaching them how to walk and like teaching them like the survival lessons.
Okay, that's pretty crazy.
And just kind of like going on the adventure to go from I want to say it's like Wisconsin or something, somewhere in like middle of like America to get over the mountains to go to San Francisco. And then like the story of why they're going there, he doesn't really explain it, but you can kind of like why are they going there? And then at the end, whenever he passes, like the robot figures it out why, and he takes care of the dog and everything. It's just so beautiful. It's a great movie. Not too long, really refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like super like sad or like super like yay or nothing too insane. Just a solid like. This was nice. I like this. It's really refreshing.
That's pretty cool.
It's just a great.
I mean,
movie.
you gave it a 9.5.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I definitely got to see that. So the 2 movies to watch right now are The Harder They Fall and what's the robot one called?
Finch.
Yeah. Apple TV and Netflix. In weird news, not in weird news, I guess.
Okay.
Just in not expected news for me. A Quiet Place is being adapted into a video game. Now, I could see that happening only if it's like The Last of Us, you know?
That's literally what popped in my mind.
Right.
Like, not like it being like a story-based movie, but even if it was like, did you ever play The Last of Us online where you could like fight against other people?
Yeah.
That's what I was just picturing.
Really?
Yeah.
So I could see it being like that, or again, a very story-based game where you're kind of sunk into the story. Like The Last of Us is perfect 2 games because of the fact that you get so sunk into the story and it takes you on this journey. And I could see A Quiet Place being that.
It might flop unless they make it like an Xbox, like PC exclusive, because how The Last of Us is a PlayStation exclusive.
And it makes it more desirable.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how good the game is if you can't get people to want to buy it.
It's like your good or your great, was it good value? Great value?
Great value.
Yeah, it's your great value version of The Last of Us.
I'm excited. I think it's cool. The Buzz Lightyear trailer came out on Friday, maybe before that. Maybe it was last Friday. I don't fucking remember. It came out and it looks creepy.
Really? I thought it looked pretty cool.
It does look great. No, it looks great.
You don't like Cuz Lightyear? You haven't seen the memes where they give him waves?
So the yeah, because he pulls up the.
He's wearing a do-rag since '99.
No, he looks great. Chris Evans,
okay,
Captain America, is playing Buzz Lightyear.
Before I forget, this just made me think of it. Did you see that thing Kyle posted online, the little Reddit stream of how whenever Captain America went back in time and went through life, he ended up becoming Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that made my heart feel so good.
That is really cool. I could not see it, but
it's hey, it's great.
So Buzz Lightyear looks super real, and it's weird because like I also have to acknowledge that he's not supposed to look like a toy because this Buzz Lightyear is the real Buzz Lightyear.
Mm-hmm.
He's who the toy was based off of.
Right.
So he has to look like a person.
Yeah.
But it freaks me out.
I dig it.
You know what I mean? I love it. No, I mean, I really am excited to see it. I think it's great. But it was hard for my eyes to adjust for a minute because I was like, that looks close enough to Buzz Lightyear that's not Buzz Lightyear.
Right. You didn't like the ending of it before they said to infinity and beyond? Like they did like the handshake to infinity and beyond muscle shot.
Yeah, it was cute. The trailer was insanely cute. You put this on here, which thank you because I'm so excited. Starting November 1st, which was last Monday, I think, last Monday.
Sounds about right.
Every episode of Comic Book Men is back on Amazon Prime. One of my all-time favorite shows. I've watched that show probably 5 or 6 times.
Yep.
And I'm definitely going to binge watch it now that it is out on Amazon Prime.
That's my like perfect background show to have
right?
on.
Like when I'm doing shit, when I'm writing, it's so good to have on a little TV next to me.
Yeah.
Because it gives me the background noise that I don't have to pay attention to, but also fulfills my ADHD.
Would that be like the nerdy like comic book version of like Pawn Stars? Like you know how people just have Pawn Stars on?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same vibe.
The only heartbreaking thing is finding out how fake the show was.
Yeah.
Like all of the deals and all of the negotiations and all of everything about Comic Book Men was just the producers would tell them what to say.
They can't show like a normal Tuesday. It's where they're just putting books out.
I know, but it always made me sad when I found out. But it's still a very good show. They're very lovable characters and people, and Kevin Smith. You know, thank you, Daddy Smith. We miss you. Why do I do it like he's dead? Right. He's not dead.
R.I.P. the homie.
All right, WB is releasing, or it's in development now, a Smash Brothers style fighting game.
Okay.
So it's going to be like Super Smash Bros. And it is going to include a bunch of WB properties, kind of like we saw in Space Jam. Like you may have Batman, Scooby-Doo, Rick and Morty, It, maybe a Clockwork Orange. The only problem with that
Mm-hmm.
is that their finishing move would probably be rape. So
Batman?
probably
No, I'm
should
playing.
say No,
It's
but
all
I think it'd be cool. I'd be very interested to see what they could come up with. That kind of stuff excites me because, like, if I could ever get a Smash Bros. Style version of, like, Nickelodeon, like OG Nickelodeon
They had
characters.
that All-Star Battle Royale.
Was that a thing?
Yeah. And they've had them, like, back in the day, like, whenever you used to play PC games in class.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they'll be okay. I'm not too hyped about it.
Don't be a naysayer.
The only thing I think I saw about this one is,
What?
what's the dad? Jimmy Neutron? Doesn't Warren B. WB technically own the rights to Jimmy Neutron?
Really?
I think they
Is that
do.
true?
I think they do. Because I saw, like, one meme where it was like, I'm coming to get you, Jimbo. And it was like him.
That's pretty funny.
I'll fight. And then you can finally get, like, Ultra Instinct Shaggy, which everybody always makes the memes about.
You know what? You're right. They said that they may include Ultra Instinct, which is just a meme.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are we getting Ultra Instinct Shaggy? It's
But
super weird.
I have no idea. It's probably going to be like one of those things that releases for Steam type of deal.
You
But
think?
I can't really see it going to consoles unless it's like one of those like, all right, we'll
Maybe
make
download only.
Yeah, we'll make it like a little exclusive,
Yeah.
like $39.99.
Now on to bigger news. And I'm sorry if we're skipping through some of this stuff just because how much can we talk about WB Smash Bros? But we also have a lot of shit. So I really want to spend more time on the important stuff. And the important stuff to me is this next bit. Two pieces of news.
Mm-hmm.
One, the Spider-Man No Way Home poster just came out, and the fucking Green Goblin is on it. And
I didn't see the Green Goblin.
What do you mean? It's all over the internet.
Where was the Green Goblin?
So,
like I saw the
Spider-Man
arms.
standing there in the arms, and in the background, Green Goblin's on his glider. Full body Green Goblin on a glider.
Wait,
now,
what Green Goblin? Is it Amazing Spider-Man?
It's Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, from the first series. However, now this is where theories start to come into. Now, it was confirmed, especially by the poster, but even the week before, Sandman and Lizard are officially confirmed for the movie.
They've been confirmed.
No, like confirmed. Like even Lizard was just speculated, but we know that the Sandman from the same dude. He's coming back as Sandman, and then
He's
the
had
guy
that on his
from
Twitter for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then
fuck me, I'm bad at
Jamie
this.
Foxx is coming back, and they're like
Jamie Foxx is coming back,
giving him a revamp,
so
like a redesign.
We know 5 of these characters. We don't know who the 6th in the Sinister Six is, unless it's just Vulture or again Scorpion was in the prison, so we don't know what's going on.
So wait, they have Doc Ock, Green Goblin,
Electro, Sandman. Who am I forgetting?
So
Lizard.
Oh, they do have Lizard too?
Yeah.
Oh, I figured they just would have had Scorpion and Vulture. Or they probably didn't even want to put Scorpion since they just had like the little tiny Easter egg.
They may not even like be full on going Sinister Six right now. It could just be a multiverse story. You know what I mean? So I think the Sinister Six is a little more coordinated, but I'm hyped. I mean, what I was saying, by the way,
is Venom. No, I'm playing.
What I was saying, by the way, which if we get a Venom cameo in this, I'm gonna nut. I'm gonna nut.
Nice.
The theory is everybody's like, oh, it's totally Willem Dafoe in the classic helmet. It's very blurry. All you see is him way in the background, and you just see this stance on a glider.
Okay.
I think they did that on purpose because they probably still haven't finalized what the look is going to be. If they're going to leave him in the armored suit that he was in, or if they're going to update him the same way they're updating Electro and the same way they're updating some of the other characters' minor adjustments.
I hope they leave him, but yeah.
I would not mind seeing him in a little more traditional of a Green Goblin suit.
Less armor.
Less armor, some purples thrown in there for the, balance of Green Goblin colors. However, I'm so excited. Which we knew Green Goblin was going to be in it just because that trailer had the pumpkin bomb. Like we saw the pumpkin, and it was the same pumpkin bombs from the original one. But still, you never really know.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not the that ugly version of Green Goblin. I think it was like Amazing Spider-Man. The Garfield version.
Where the kid got teeth.
Yeah, as long as it's not that.
Yeah, I agree. I wasn't a fan of that either. However, I do like the Goblin suit they were going to do for the original Spider-Man, and it was all animatronic, but it was a mask that looked like the Green Goblin,
Yeah.
and it like had big eyes, and it was freaky as fuck.
Hell yeah.
And there's footage of them testing it out with like a remote control and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely wouldn't mind that. Marvel Studios' Nova movie is going to begin filming in 2023, so Nova's been added to their slot, which is going to be cool. We saw the Nova Corps in Guardians of the Galaxy. We were expecting.
That was with Sylvester Stallone in it, right? Like towards the end before they got.
He wasn't part of the Nova Corps. He was actually
part of the
original Guardians. So the first team of Guardians of the Galaxy in the comic books was those guys and Yondu. So Yondu and Sylvester Stallone and his characters all on that ship, those were the characters that were the original Guardians. The Guardians we know now, they weren't the first Guardians.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that was kind of an Easter egg of like the original characters. No, but we saw in the first Guardians movie, we saw the Nova Corps come out and try to defeat
Thanos or
Ronan the Accuser and stuff. Yeah. So Cowboy Bebop official trailer dropped, and it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, doesn't it come out soon?
Like it comes out November 19th.
Okay.
So
yeah.
A week and a half.
You think it's Netflix, so they normally drop the whole season.
Oh, no, exactly 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's the
8th.
So just short of 2 weeks.
Right. But they'll drop the whole season, right? Because it's Netflix. They don't do like one episode per week.
I don't know, actually. I think the rules on that are still being written. Things are changing all the time. Yeah. So they may decide, but Netflix does traditionally drop entire series.
Right.
Not episode by episode, except for like the reality shows. Like I watched The Circle on Netflix. Excuse me. I watched The Circle on Netflix, and you ever get a yawn and you can't suppress it?
Mm-hmm.
It just takes over your body, you know? That was what just happened.
Nice.
So November 19th, and I'm very excited. Again, one of my all-time favorite anime.
Right.
It's so good. If you guys haven't seen the original Cowboy Bebop, please go watch it. You can watch it after you watch the live action. If you really love the live action, you're like, I'd like to see the source material. I'm hoping they did it. It looks like they did it so close to the source material that it should be interchangeable.
Didn't you say the animated is on Netflix right now, or is it on Hulu? One of the two?
The animated is on Hulu. For sure on Hulu, the whole show.
Gotcha.
It may be on Netflix because if they got the rights to Cowboy Bebop and they have the live action show, they probably are going to put the anime on it if it's not already on there. I haven't checked, but that's a good question. We'll have to check on that. But Cowboy Bebop looks fantastic. Kevin Smith's Master of the Universe for Netflix, Part 2, Revelation, Part 2. Trailer dropped. It looked phenomenal. November 23rd, so that's coming out right after Cowboy Bebop.
Right.
And I still haven't finished the first part. And I need to.
I mean, did you see the trailer for season 2?
Yeah, it looked great.
Yeah. Do you like how they he like called on the I have the power, but he didn't have the sword, so it turned him into Savage He-Man?
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty hype.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
You showed me a trailer right before we started recording, and it was for a movie called The Black Phone, which is a horror movie coming out from Blumhouse, which you guys are all familiar with, or we all should be familiar with Blumhouse because they make fucking every horror movie now.
Right.
And I think that Blumhouse puts out a lot of good stuff, but because they have their hands in everything now, a lot of shitty movies come out as well. So when they first started coming out, it was like Insidious and Sinister and like these really fucking creepy, The Conjuring. Like that was all Blumhouse produced stuff.
Right.
And it was really scary shit. But then again, now they make every horror movie that comes out now, and not everyone's good. But this looks really good. Yeah. So do you want to give them a quick idea? Guys, go watch the trailer here on YouTube, if you're listening on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, for The Black Phone.
Yeah, it looks pretty hype. I don't know the exact release date or if it's just a trailer
February
that came
4th.
out. Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I didn't. Heck yeah.
You wrote that in here.
I did?
You totally did.
Sweet. Go me. Look at me doing stuff. But yeah, it's actually like, you know how Blumhouse does like a lot of horror aspects to where it's like, oh, paranormal or
right.
Basically superhero that can kill somebody like Jason or something like that.
Right.
This one, it's like, hits more at home with like something that could happen in the real world because it's a crazed like child abductor like folk tale that's like, oh, it's not real, and then turns out to be real, and then he's like a magician, but is like, hey, can you help me get this out of the balloon?
He's just a predator.
Yeah.
It's about a child abductor.
Yeah,
and
he
him
snatches this kid,
keeping
puts
a
him in
kid
a basement,
hostage.
and the only thing that's in the basement is like a little tiny bed that he's chained up to,
Tiny
and
little
like
bed.
a
It was like a floor mat too.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like a bed.
and a payphone that's like right up on the wall, or not a payphone, like
Like a rotary
phone
Yeah.
on the wall, and apparently that phone will ring, and it like in the trailer it shows that it's like his past victims like calling out to him, but you can't tell if like the kid's just hallucinating that because he might have been drugged down
Right.
there and everything like that. But it
looks fucked.
It looks pretty
But
creepy.
every call he gets is from a dead victim of
Yeah.
this same child abductor, and they're trying to help him escape.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, it looked really creepy. And normally,
I'm ready for it.
Normally, like a whole bunch of Blumhouse movies, I'm like, all right, it's mid, or all right, it's a big title that they're
Right.
doing part 5 of. But this looks pretty hyped, and I don't even like scary movies. So
We want to give a quick shout out to Sean McNally. He's a good friend of ours, good friend of the show, co-worker of mine, and fellow nerd. I've known him for several years now, and again, he's just a good dude. And the reason we're shouting him out is because somebody he's close to, somebody that he knows, has passed away. Part of the Jacksonville, he was actually the creator of the Jacksonville Funko Comics and Collectibles page. Brian Wilson passed away last Thursday. I mean, dude's been in the trading game, the buying game, the selling game with Funkos and collectibles and comics and shit here for, years. So I didn't know the guy personally, but we know our boy Sean did. And we know a lot of people here in Jacksonville did.
Man.
So just rest in peace, obviously, and want to give him a quick moment of respect.
Yes, sir. Especially like building such a like loyal and like great community. Like that Facebook page has a ton of people. Like
a lot
especially
of people.
having like you have Coliseum Comics and different other places here and there. It's pretty cool seeing like everybody collab and like paying their respects.
Absolutely. On lighter news, very exciting news actually. Boondock Saints 3 is in the works. Returning with Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery. So it's not a reboot. It's not, they're not recasting. Same brothers, same two coming in, and it's going to be 10 now, 15 years later. So I'm pretty excited. I always loved the original. I don't remember the sequel too much, Boondock Saints 2.
No one really does.
I love the original Boondock Saints. So that's going to be really cool.
Do you think it's going to be like a cash grab, or do you think it's going to be like one last job type of deal?
I can't imagine that there was enough demand for this for it to be a cash grab.
But if you were making it, would you like, all right, this is an old title that had some cool properties, I can get a cash grab by making it like one last job type of deal, but they have like younger people that they kind of like train to take over the role type of deal.
Again, if it were that,
restart a franchise.
I think it'd be a reboot. But I think this is maybe just they were like, oh fuck, what if we did this? Wouldn't that be cool? And they were like, yeah, we're in. Let's do it.
Yeah, do like the like an Old Man Logan type story.
Yeah, kind of. You know,
those are always fun.
Chris Pratt is a fucking monster, in a good way. What did I drop? In a good way,
right?
He is voicing everything now. So every new animated thing that comes out is going to be Chris Pratt's voice. He's voicing Mario, which that one I was like, yeah, of course. Like that actually kind of makes sense.
I'm more hyped for Charlie Day being Luigi.
Right, Charlie Day being Luigi. That all makes sense. It's going to be very funny. I hope it's very cleverly written.
Right.
But now he also was announced that he's going to be voicing Garfield in the new Garfield movie, which I think Garfield is going to be animated. I don't think it's going to be another live action. But I loved the Bill Murray Garfield.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I watched any of the sequels. I think there was a few of them.
Right.
But whatever.
I just saw a petition that they wanted to be Matt Berry to play Garfield. I don't know if you know who he is.
I have no idea who that is.
Have you seen
I have a friend named Matt Berry, actually.
There you go. Have you seen What They Do in the Shadows?
No.
No? Great show.
I know. Everybody keeps telling me I need to watch that.
At any show, best show to watch, but he's like the guy who's like married to Naja, and he's just a really funny comedic actor who's been in the game like way before like Ricky Gervais and all them. For, like,
really?
The English like type of guys.
Yeah.
He's like that level.
That's awesome.
He has a really hello champ. Bloody
like
hell,
a
you
proper
cunt.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
I'll give you a wank.
Why would they want Garfield to be British?
I don't know. It was just something that like someone like a guy who does an impression on TikTok.
Right.
He saw that at one comment, and now that I believe that has like almost like 6 million likes right now.
Right.
And like they have like a Twitter stream going right now too.
That's ridiculous.
It's crazy.
Hayden Christensen, we all remember Hayden Christensen from the prequel Star Wars movies. Again, my generation, our generation who grew up with those prequels, love those prequels. I personally...
A little boring at times.
A little boring at times, but so were the original Star Wars, even though they're fantastic.
Yeah.
There were definitely slow moments in the original trilogy. But I love the prequels, right? And I love don't get me wrong, the original trilogy is... Nothing can beat it.
You have a giant Jar Jar chess piece.
I do, right? It's the Sith Lord Jar Jar. But Hayden Christensen obviously played Anakin Skywalker, turns into Darth Vader. He has been confirmed that he was going to be in the Obi-Wan show when that comes out, which that excites me very much. But he was also just confirmed to be in the new Ahsoka spinoff series.
Yeah.
And that's coming out even sooner than Obi-Wan, I think.
Yep.
So I'm pretty excited to see what that's going to look like.
Did you see how that news leaked, actually?
No.
Rosario Dawson actually tweeted it because I think it was like the Daily News or some shit. Like just, not like posted it, but they posted like a hypothetical, like we think Hayden's going to be back. She read it and then posted, "Can't wait to see you, Sparks," like whatever Ahsoka says to Anakin in like the Clone Wars. And it was like a picture of them two together. So she was like, "Oh, all right." Rosario confirmed it.
Oh,
like,
really?
Oh, shit, they confirmed it. And then everybody ran with the story.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So is it confirmed or was it a joke?
It started off as like a hypothetical, like we think this is going to happen. And then Rosario confirmed it because she shared like not like a set photo, but like you could tell they were on set, like not fully make-upped and dressed. But she shared that and said, "Can't wait to like battle in the skies with you, Sparks," or something like that. So then everybody ran with it and she tried to delete it, but then it was already too late.
So who do you think, not who, I mean, we know who he's going to be, but in
like
what capacity?
Version?
Because if Ahsoka takes place at the same general time as Mandalorian, it's pretty far after, or at least a year or two after Darth Vader was killed, right? Because this takes place after the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Before the First Order was built, right?
Yeah.
So Empire falls. We've had a couple. I only think it's like 1 or 2 years because there's still like pockets of the Empire around, stormtroopers and shit. And then the First Order hasn't been created yet. So do you think he'll be a Force ghost? Or do you think this will be flashbacks?
I want to say it's going to be flashbacks of her and Anakin because in the Clone Wars, she was Anakin's Padawan, and they grew a really great relationship. And then whenever they split,
he still could pull off young Anakin. Like, he looks young as shit. He's always looked young as shit.
Right.
So with a little of the de-aging stuff or a little just good makeup, he could I wouldn't be surprised if it were flashbacks to her training or flashbacks to a mission they were on together or something.
I want to say if it's going to be, like, say the series is like an 8 episode series or like a 10 episode series. Feel like episode like
I think it's gonna be 8.
8. Okay.
I think it's gonna be closer to 7 or 8. Yeah.
I say he would probably like pop in on like a flashback on like episode 3. You'd get like a deeper one on like episode 6, and then episode 8, like after she either catches Grand Admiral Thrawn or whatever happens, you'll get whenever he finally like splits away, or like that'll be like the big crescendo of like everything of where they split.
I'm hoping,
in my opinion,
I have 2 hopes, 2 wishes for this. 1,
a last hope.
It's flashbacks to them training, and then
like
him like going in for a kiss, and her being like, "What about Padme?" And he's like, "Pad who?" And they bone.
Ooh, hot. I love it.
Blue pussy. I mean, how could you not get excited for it?
Teal, but okay.
Oh my god,
racist.
What? I apologize. I didn't mean to wrongly. So, how would I say this?
Don't paint shame somebody, you asshole.
How do I pixel shame? Not pixel.
I don't know.
Pigment. I didn't mean to pigment shame.
I don't know. You've been on a weird trend. Literally on the live stream, you're talking about you wanted to smash a ET.
Oh,
now you're talking about this.
Dude, that ET looked fine.
You better be clearing your browser history, buddy.
That ET looked fine. I wanted to fuck that ET. I'll tell you what, boy.
Right, deep cuts.
All right, so that's my first deep cuts. That's my first hope, is that there's a flashback to them boning.
Okay.
Second hope, and this is a little more serious. I hope she's like, obviously the idea is that she's still hunting down Grand Admiral Thrawn, right?
Yeah.
General or Admiral, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever he is.
You get it.
She's still hunting for him, which I believe was her mission like all through Clone Wars. So this is like the end of Clone Wars. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It became her mission. So what I mean by that is like by the end of Clone Wars, that kind of was her thing. And now this is saying that all these years later, which now is a lot of years later, she still has not found him and taken him down. That's amazing. So I kind of hope she's on this like hunt and she's just going through a lot of shit and his Force ghost won't leave her the fuck alone and is just like not taunting her, but like trying to help, but she doesn't want his help because of who he became, you know, like something like that. But he's trying to maybe redeem himself. But the Force ghost keeps like, she's like climbing and shit and she's trying to get places.
She's trying to stay on the straight and narrow, but Hayden's kind of taking her down like the darker path.
Well, maybe not the darker path, because I think at this point, like at the end of the trilogy, he was trying to redeem himself, right? And so he helped Luke, and he threw the Emperor over the side of the rail.
Well, that's way after Ahsoka's not even in the picture. Like, whenever they split.
Well, I know, but this movie takes place, or this series would take place after the events of that.
Really? I thought it was prior to that, like whenever...
No.
I'm thinking Obi-Wan, I'm sorry.
Obi-Wan, yes.
I'm thinking that
Obi-Wan
right
is going to be back, but Ahsoka, assuming it takes place during the time of the Mandalorian, this is after all that. So he's going to be looking for redemption. Maybe he wants to help her, but she doesn't trust him because you turned into fucking Darth Vader, dude. You know? I'm excited. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Right.
You have a story that you brought me about
a bet that was insane.
You got to say his name. I can't say.
Trevor Plouffe.
It is Plouffe.
Yeah. Yep. It's spelled weird, but Plouffe. He's a pitcher for the Minnesota Twins, and I believe on March 12th,
31st.
It was March 31st. Yeah, March 31st, 2021. Way prior to the season even starting, he put out a tweet and put out a bet for $1,000 that the Atlanta Braves were gonna play and win the World Series in Game 6 against the Houston Astros. I don't know what the odds of that were, but no one thought that was going to happen. Like, especially going through the season, Atlanta's star outfielder who was going to win the MVP, Ozuna, blew out his ACL. So they had to like trade and like pick up like kind of no-name mid-tier like outfielders who ended up being clutch and got them to the World Series.
Right.
They ended up winning on Game 6, and if we were recorded last week on like that Tuesday that we were planning on doing it, Game 6 was that Wednesday, so it would have had a little bit more hype, but they ended up winning Game 6 in Houston, and that bet hit that he put in $1,000. He won $25.6 million.
Jesus Christ.
On a bet that he just threw out and was like, Braves in 6. That's fucking insane. Like, I'm not a better guy like that, but like, could you just imagine that? That's fucking wild.
I don't know how players are able to place bets on any kind of games like that.
They're not a part of it, and this was prior to the season started.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
because he's not tanking his own.
I mean, again, hey, I respect it as long as everything's like above board.
Yeah,
fucking good for him.
Hell yeah!
But he's already a professional pitcher.
Yeah, he's already a millionaire.
So he's already a millionaire, and then this fuck just wins. $25.6 million.
He basically won like for like a okay pitcher, probably like a 3-year deal. He basically won that in like a night.
That's amazing.
And then to stay kind of on the sports topic, I know it passed a little bit, but it is kind of like big news that we're probably not going to see ever again.
Which one are we talking
Tom
about?
Brady threw a 600 touchdown.
Yes.
And whenever that happened, Mike Evans threw the ball in the stands not knowing. And the guy who caught it, in hindsight, probably should have ran out the building and tucked that and put that up on like Heritage Auctions or something like that. But they got the ball back, and at first he was just going to get a...
He didn't have to, by the way.
Yeah.
They asked him.
Yeah, they asked him.
Like, please, would you give me... Because that's his 600th touchdown ball. And tell them all the fucking crazy shit that this guy is getting for that ball.
Which isn't even a lot compared to like what that ball was going for. Like even prior to like him giving it back.
Monetarily?
Yeah, like all the Heritage auction places and everything. Like all the big sports like memorabilia places are like that ball is easily worth $500,000.
Right.
Like $1 million. Because that's going to be the one and only like 600 like passing ball that's never been done before in NFL history ever. At first he was only going to get a Mike Evans jersey, And then it went from a Mike Evans jersey to a Tom Brady jersey, which
Mike and Tom Brady.
Yeah, Mike and Tom, which is cool.
Jerseys and helmets.
Yeah. Then they gave him $1,000 in-store credit, like to the stadium.
The team store.
They gave him season tickets,
which is crazy.
Which is cool. Like a 2 pair of season tickets.
Right.
And they all, Tom Brady even said on like the Peyton Manning cast they do on Monday, I'll give him a little something on the side too, and gave him a Bitcoin, which that's cool. Bitcoin.
He got paid one full Bitcoin,
which is like $36,000.
Right.
Pretty cool
from Tom Brady.
But in hindsight, a whole bunch of cool shit for something you weren't expecting to get whenever you just go to a football game, which is all cool. But in hindsight, fuck, I'd be mad because that ball cost so much money if you could have sold it.
I get you on that, but hindsight also, like,
it is always 2020.
Would you want to be that asshole?
I would.
Who kept it?
I would.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
I could have bought a house, paid for my kids' college.
Something also just happened recently with the guy. Speaking of people who catch balls, segue. The guy who caught the winning ball from the World Series in his hat, and it was still in play. He reached over
from the Cubs,
Boston.
like a way
was
back
it
then?
The Cubs?
Yeah, way back in like the 80s, whenever
90s.
Yeah, before the curse started happening, the black cat curse.
Yes.
Yeah, what about him?
I thought it was like I thought it was Boston.
No, it was the Cubs. He like reached over in Wrigley Field.
Right, he reached over with his hat.
He had the ball cap and he had the glasses on.
Yes. Yeah.
Unless something recently just happened.
Yeah, something just like he was in the news last week for something. I don't remember what it was.
I thought you were talking about Buster Posey. I mean, he's kind of a Florida guy. Went to FSU. He's retiring after 12 years of service as a catcher.
Who's Buster Posey?
He's a solid catcher. I mean, he played for the Giants. He won like 3 rings with them. Like MVP. Obviously going to be a Hall of Famer, which is crazy because he played in, I want to say, almost 1,500 games out of like a 12-year career, and he only had like, I think it was 20 passed balls. And you got to think like pitchers, how many like pitches he catches per game, like that's almost like 100 to like 140 balls per game over 150 or like almost 1,500 games.
Right.
However many math that is, that's pretty insane. But he was a solid guy, but he got injured a little bit, and he's from Florida.
I thought it was in the 90s. It happened in 2003. And the reason it was in the news was it was Steve Bartman who caught the ball.
Okay.
And the reason it was in the news was because it was the 18-year anniversary.
Oh. Speaking of weird 18-year anniversaries, we just passed Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Oh, I thought you were going to say your sister was finally 18.
Oh, no. She's been 18.
Pow, 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 here.
There you go.
Bad joke.
Nah. Yeah, we're going to cut that.
That's a fucked up joke.
We're going to cut that. Nah, I'm not worried. But, Star Wars Battlefront 2 just came out 18 years ago, I think last Wednesday. Which is pretty hype.
That's pretty cool.
Played the fuck out of that game.
Yeah, I loved Star Wars Battlefront 2. I loved The Force Unleashed, though, was my favorite Star Wars games. Force Unleashed. I don't remember The Force Unleashed 2 as much, but I did love those games.
First one was the OG.
Yeah, the first one was legit, but yeah, I mean, that's all I got. That's all my notes. I don't have anything else for you guys. Do you have anything else for the people?
Did we miss something? Got Kevin Smith.
Oh,
WB.
Bill Burr. You want to talk about Bill Burr's sketch show, Immoral Compass? Yeah,
that came out on it's streaming for free if you have a Roku like player. It's on the Roku channel, which I didn't even know they had a channel.
I had no fucking idea
honest,
they had a channel.
But
I didn't think Bill Burr needed the money that bad.
No, it's he has his name over it, but the creators of it like went through him type of deal. I can't remember their names, but it's a really funny sketch show. I think it's like 10 episodes. And it's got a whole bunch of like legends in it, like Bobby Lee, Nick Swartzen, Vince Vaughn, which is crazy.
Just funny people, dude.
Just
ridiculously funny.
Ton of funny people, but it's definitely a dark sketch show. And like, if you ever listen to his podcast, so he kind of rambles and kind of goes like pretty hard. Like the setup of it is like he's in the garage and he's like recording like a tape for his I believe it's like a stepson or like his the guy he's dating, or the girl he's dating's son, and he's like recording it because he wants to like leave. He's like, all right, what the fuck you gotta do is like, don't get a credit card and like all this like stuff, and like saying a whole bunch of jokes that like segues to like the different sketches, and then at the end it like wraps around and plays, and it's pretty funny.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah,
it's called Bill Burr Immoral Compass.
Yep.
And it's on the Roku channel.
Yeah.
And it's a sketch comedy show. I love sketch shows, man.
Yeah.
Mad TV, SNL, those were my shit.
If you want another one, like another sketch series, it's on YouTube. It's called Gillian Keeves. I showed you the one about the
Right.
OnlyFans dad, which
Yeah.
was hilarious.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the dude who was supposed to be on SNL?
Yep.
And he had a racist tweet,
Yeah.
and
No, it wasn't even a tweet. Like they
it wasn't
pulled.
a tweet.
Nah, like I mean, he's been on like a lot of like there's another like fucked up thing called like the Legion of Skanks where they
Right.
like they just go hardcore.
Yeah, he's
on
just
like
been on some
comedy stuff.
controversial shit.
Yeah, he did like a Asian, like he did like an Asian character on it,
Oof.
and then I think he said like the C word, but like it wasn't him saying it. It was like the character,
Right.
where it was like a kind of like a Clayton Bigsby type of scenario.
Right.
So, and then they hit him on that like right whenever it happened, and plus this was at the hype of whenever Stop Asian Hate was happening.
Right.
But
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he didn't
That's-
record that then, but that's whenever they found it.
No,
and
yeah,
brought it
that's
up.
when it came to light and everything. Well, I mean, again,
Yeah,
sometimes stuff gets taken out of context, or sometimes it deserves to be. I don't remember the situation well enough to judge, but
right.
that's all. That's all we really got for you guys this week. You know,
Yeah.
which I had fun. It was a good hour, and we're right at the hour mark. So,
Oh, really? I thought we were going longer. Hell yeah.
yeah, it was maybe an hour 5, but it's been a
Oh,
good
yeah.
hour. I had fun. Did you have fun, Trey?
I had a great time. This is always a blast.
Did you guys have fun? Please let us know in the comments below.
Right.
If you guys have any suggestions of what you'd like to see on the show or what you'd like us to talk about, comment. Follow us
Right.
on Facebook at the Bat in the Hat Podcast. Follow us at on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Bat Hat Pod. And you got any other plugs?
I think on Saturday we're gonna be doing another live stream.
Every
shooting
Saturday,
at,
motherfucker.
It's always at like 7. Was it at 7
Cowabunga
p.m.?
Comics, yep, online, and it's gonna be I posted it to the Bat in the Hat Podcast page as well.
Right.
So if you follow us, you're gonna see the claim sale notice
Right.
go up. So
Always
every
always
Saturday
a blast
from
doing that.
every Saturday from 7 to 9 Eastern, we do a claim sale to sell some comics and have some fun. And everything's priced to sell, man. These are deals. So
Yeah.
we're just trying to have some fun and get people some books. So
And any keys or any characters that you're looking for, always dropping in any of our lines.
yeah,
we'll,
let us
we'll
know.
respond to
You
it.
know, we'd love to look to see what we can find for you. But I've got to take a shit. So I just figured I'd let you all know
There you
before
go.
we cut the camera.
That's for the people who make it this far.
Thank you once again, Trey, for being here. I
Always.
love having you over, dude.
I love being a part of this.
Thank you guys who watched the show for watching the show. You guys are phenomenal. And please, if you guys have anything else for us, leave it in the comments. And other than that, we will see you next week.
Deuces.
Later.